where are we at with Iran? Well, I understand that Iran, there's so many freaking psyops going on. There's so much news coming out that it's easy to turn away. But we have to cover this because this is arguably the most important thing going on in the world. And so I'm going to keep pushing through these narratives. And today, Trump had something to tell Axios, and so actually let's listen to his clip because this is a big deal what they're deciding.
Breaking moments ago, President Trump telling Axios that he is rejecting Iran's latest offer, keeping the blockade in place. Brian Yanis is in Tel Aviv. He's got the latest for us. Hey, Brian.
Hey, John. Well, today is the 16th day of the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports, and President Trump now says that he's going to extend that blockade until Iran agrees to a deal that ends its nuclear program. President Trump telling Axios just moments ago, quote, "The blockade is somewhat more effective than the bombing. They are choking like a stuffed pig, and it's going to be worse for them. They can't have a nuclear weapon." Iran's economy is tanking since the start of the war 60 days ago. So far, 2 million jobs have been lost. Half of Iran's jobs are at risk. The value of Iran's real currency has dropped 98% to a record low. Annual inflation is up 67%, with the price of chicken up 75%. Iran's daily oil shipments are also down 70%. Now, back in the U.S., the current national average for a gallon of gas is $4.22. That's the highest in 4 years. We're told President Trump met yesterday with top officials from Chevron and other energy companies to discuss steps that can be taken to alleviate the pain at the pump if this U.S. blockade goes on for months. Axios also reports that the U.S. has prepared a plan for a, quote, short and powerful wave of strikes in Iran if needed. President Trump posting a warning this morning, quote, "Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon." The post also includes an image that reads, "No more Mr. Nice Guy," with the president holding a gun surrounded by explosions. Now the U.S.
Breaking moments ago, President.
The best. Let's just leave that up there. Did you guys hear that? That is crazy. So, first of all, Trump's quote is fantastic. "The blockade's somewhat more effective than the bombing. They're choking like a stuffed pig. It's going to be worse for them. They can't have a nuclear weapon. They want to settle." I love it. Trump, as I covered last night, he's fully committed now to the blockade. He's just like, this is going to happen. We're doing this. We're sticking with it. It's working. Okay, I'm not turning away from what works, which, you know, is why I love the president. He finds what works and sticks with it. But it's very interesting that he called in all the oil companies and was like, listen, if I hold this blockade, we got to figure something out. That tells me, you know, Trump has options. He could declare an emergency and refuse to allow them to keep exporting. That would make our oil prices tank because all that oil would stay here. So gas prices would go down. But it would also affect the whole rest of the world in a way, in a bad way, because they're already in a bad way. And the oil companies would be pissed because they're missing out on record profits. So I wonder if he's going to do a limit on exports, or figure out something else. I don't know. But if Trump figures out how to get gas prices down to, say, $3.50, $3.25, something that's like still a little elevated but tolerable, and I mean, people are gonna just stop talking about it. They're gonna chill, and he'll be able to rest. And then we have the summer coming up. The World Cup's coming here. The UFC is on July 4th. We have the 250th anniversary all of America, all the birthday stuff that's going to go on this summer. I tell you, if he gets it to even just where it's tolerable but still elevated, he's got all the time in the world to beat Iran. And I think Trump knows that. He's that smart. So this is, I mean, again, every time they say Trump can't pull this off, he finds a way. It's pretty incredible. So today they offered a deal. Trump rejected it. And here's a short and powerful. They're talking about a short and powerful wave of strikes coming up. So this is just what I said last night, where I thought that either Trump was going to settle in, see what they panic. Well, they did. They panicked and offered a deal, but the deal sucked. So now Trump is like, okay, well, now I'm going to do a blockade and strike you guys again. So details, Trump says he'll keep Iran under blockade until they agree to a nuclear deal. So he's not going to budge on this. After strikes, which would likely include infrastructure, U.S. would press Iran to negotiate again. Trump sees continued blockade as primary source of leverage, said Iran's oil storage and pipelines are getting close to exploding. Oil prices then surged above 107 a barrel. Trump unveiled a framework. Now, this is interesting, too. Turning the blockade into a global coalition. Administration reportedly asking allies to join a new maritime freedom construct jointly run by State Department and CENTCOM. So you guys can come help us if you want oil. How about you guys come run this place? We're going to be overseeing it, though. You're going to answer to us. So it's not really giving up any power. Members would share intelligence, coordinate diplomatic pressure, and enforce sanctions on Iran shipping. Object reopen Strait through collective action rather than unilateral American institute. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Europe, you need this oil? Come get it. Come get it. Let's see if you guys actually answer the call. This institutional answer to a political problem administration identified. American consumers paying over 4. American allies are publicly questioning strategy. I mean, of course they are. Its city of London is being destroyed. Europe is being destroyed. Of course they're questioning it. This is designed to spread the burden, legitimacy. Historical models combine maritime forces U.S. built around the Bob Almondalo during Houthi attacks. CMF eventually include over 40 nations, some form of cooperation. And there's also the China question. Beijing buys roughly 90% of Iran's oil exports. 90%. That's crazy. It's because of all the sanctions, though. Iran just had to sell to somebody. So Trump's trying to coalesce that, get them all in charge. But here is economic fury. Now, I want you to hear what Bessent's saying because we're choking them out, and Iran's in a bad place. But listen to Scott as Tom Luongo calls him Big Gay Patton.
The president gave the order for max pressure campaign more than a year ago. He gave it to me and Treasury last March. It was that pressure that brought the Iranian economy to a standstill in December that led to the protest. The largest bank in Iran collapsed. The central bank had to monetize the debt, and that created massive inflation. Their currency is down about 60 or 70% versus the U.S. dollar, so they're in the middle of a currency crisis. And what we're doing now is, we've been in a long race, and we are sprinting for the finish line. President Trump told me 3 weeks ago to up the pressure again, and we have gone to the buyers of Iranian oil and told them that we are willing to do secondary sanctions on your industries, on your banks who tolerate Iranian oil in their system. One of the big mistakes out of many that the Iranian leadership made was bombing their GCC counterparts, because for years we had heard that there was no IRGC money in their bank accounts. Now they've become more transparent, and we are freezing those bank accounts for the Iranian people. And we can see that every day it is more pressure on the regime. The retirement funds that they thought that they had outside of Iran, we are freezing. We're holding those for the Iranian people. Same with all their villas in the south of France and all over the world. And we are going to track them down, and we are going to continue the economic pressure as well as the block on the Strait of Hormuz.
Did you hear what he said? South of France? So the British and the French have been helping the Iranians. Isn't that crazy? Like I said, City of London is no longer just a place. It's an ideology. It's a system, and it's spread throughout Europe. And this just proves it again. Like France helping them out, and I knew there were links to France, but I hadn't heard it said out loud before. So this is by somebody like this. But that's crazy. I mean, they're holding them all their accounts, but But this operation, as you can tell, like once we slowed down, Trump just unleashed Bessent to go hunt down all of their money. So they're sitting there. Their oil is about to overflow, and they're going to have to shut down their wells. They're freaking out. They don't know what to do. They're like, well, at least we have this shadow money. You know, we're trying to run survive on. The RGC is like, at least we got something to pay our soldiers. And Bessent is finding every single account, shutting it down, and finding everybody helping them just a little bit and selling, we're sanctioning you. It said, we'll double sanction you. That is beast mode, folks. I don't know about you, but most wars are financial. And it's, you run out of money. I mean, Hitler ran out of gas and money. That's how you beat somebody. You know, and so Carolyn Levitt reporting the Treasury is frozen $344 million in crypto for Iran. So they're losing $100 million a day from the oil, and now we just froze $344 million of crypto. I mean, again, it's shocking to me when people are like, oh, we're losing the war in Iran. Oh, the Strait. Oh, our gas prices are at $4. It sucks. I hate filling up my tank right now. I keep waiting. You know, I'm driving and like, I notice I'm getting low. I should fill up. I'm like, no. I can make it till tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow it'll be 10 cents cheaper. You know, I'm at that point in my life right now where I'm just trying to save every cent on the gas prices. I get it. Okay. Gas prices suck. But if that's the worst thing going on in my life right now because of all this, I'm going to be okay. I'm pretty sure most of us will be okay. Unless your job is like driving nonstop, then you got an issue. But, you know, we can figure this out. We can get through this. We got through the Biden prices, which were higher at their peak. Oil spiked during Russia-Ukraine at one point to like 140, 150 a barrel. We have the Obama years. I remember doing I was a carpet cleaner. This is a long time ago. But I had a van, and thank God I didn't pay for my gas. But I remember being in California. This is 15 years ago. But the prices spiked. No, this is longer than 15 years ago. This is almost 20 years ago. So regular prices in California at that time were like $1.85 a gallon, $2.15 a gallon. And then they spiked to over $5 a gallon under Obama. It was like, I don't know how to survive this. I'm making $12 an hour. And so, you know, but thankfully the company was paying for the gas. So I'd get the company pay. I would go out to work. I would run all my errands in between jobs. And then I'd get my dinner on the way back up the hill from in the van, the work van, making sure I wasn't adding any extra mileage other than just stopping. And then I get home and I never left my house. Yeah, I know what it's like. I know what it's like when gas prices are high. It sucks, but I also remember them being higher and us surviving. So we'll survive again. And this is just a blip. Listen, Trump got in this time, gas prices, he immediately got them lower. Trump got in the first term, gas prices were the lowest I'd seen in 20 years. The man gets prices down. And if anybody doubts that at this point, they're a moron because they just they're negating every other. This is 5 years and 4 months of Trump we've had as president total, first term and second. 5 years and 4 months. In 5 years and 4 months, out of 5 years and 4 months, he has had the gas prices go up 2 months. 2 months. 2 months out of 64 months. So the other 62 months, he had gas prices lower and staying lower. So again, if you guys doubt Trump on this, I think that's stupid. But, you know, people can be stupid. People sometimes just live in the moment. They can't see. This is why I do this show, okay? Because my entire life, I've taught myself how to see the bigger picture, the larger context. I do it in everything. I do it in politics. I do it with my life. I do it in sports. I do it with pop culture. I do it with the Bible. Okay, it's all about the bigger picture context, so you don't get stuck in the middle. You don't get myopic. And that's what we can't do. We're winning this war. We're breaking them. This is not a rich country. They've been sanctioned for 50 years. They're not a rich country. They have 90 million people, but they're not rich. And we just took away 344 million in crypto, along with all their bleeding out, along with all their infrastructure militarily taken out. I mean, come on. It's just like, how can anybody say we're not overwhelmingly winning this? Now, this is interesting. I found this guy today. He's a fellow U.S. Air Force veteran, but he's got some great insights into Iran. I was recommended him by somebody else, but I want to just skip down a little bit, but just talking about what's going on with them financially. Okay. So he talks about the nuclear program and everything. And look at this, like their oil company, this gives you an idea of where they're at. Their workers earn $80 to $140 a month, against Iran's poverty line is $227 a month. So think about that. In American dollars, the poverty line in Iran is $227 a month. In America, $227 a day it's not even a good living if you have kids. Okay. So that's the difference. So think about what 344 million is to them. Think about what 100 million a day is to them. So they spent all that money. And I think down here it had something about their, where was it? You know what? I think I was going to go through this, but now I'm going a little late. This isn't the thread I thought it was, except for this part. I did want to show you guys that. So anyways, we'll move on from that. But again, that just gives you insight onto where we're at. Now, Promethean Action, which is awesome. They're one of the best channels out there. Okay. So they did a video today, and I just thought it was hilarious because they basically did my video from last night. King Charles arrives with Trump, begging Trump. DOJ indicts Comey and Fauci's bagman, raids Dem fraud networks. Iran admits state of collapse. UAE walks out of OPEC. I love you, ladies. Those were exactly my 3 topics last night. I beat you to it. But I'm still very happy they're covering it because they have much more viewers than I do. And so, and they are very good at what they do. They're very in depth. They're not all over the place like I am. So just proud to say, though, that, you know, if Promethean Action's doing the same thing I'm doing, it must be pretty good. I must be on the right track here. I thought that was very funny, though, because those were legitimately my 3 topics from last night. Anyways, the U.S. Gas and Oil and Gas Association is trolling Iran. The experts on Iran, the Twitterati. This is hilarious. Please be patient for a few minutes as thousands of Strait of Hormuz Twitter experts are making the shift over to the Voting Rights Act. They will be with you momentarily. What an excellent troll of the grifters on Twitter. It's just hilarious. They'll jump around, call out everything. It's just good stuff. I had to share that. All right. Hegseth today. The Uranium One scandal is becoming more and more mainstream. And here's Hegseth today talking about Obama dealing with Iran. And listen to what he says. It's really good.
Under this administration, unlike other administrations, which cut bad deals and pallets of cash with no ability to oversee whether Iran is actually pursuing a nuclear program.
Which is where
if we
we're
want
at.
to litigate JCPOA or the Iran deal, our view, the president's views, that was a very bad deal.
Okay.
That gave them a
That's
bunch
the
of money up
past.
front.
What's the future?
To fund, you talked about negotiated deals. Allowed them to fund their proxies and spread Hamas and Hezbollah all around the region, build up nuclear capabilities.
Great. What are we going to do now?
President Trump has been clear-eyed, from the killing of Qasem Soleimani to the pulling out of the Iran deal to Midnight Hammer and now to this effort to recognize that you have to stare down this kind of enemy who's hell-bent on getting a nuclear weapon and get them to a
Sorry. Good stuff. He's actually calling out what Obama did. And it's only been like channels of mine talking about this stuff and then Trump dropping it a little bit. So it's spreading. The whole Obama's deal funded everything. The nuclear, the proxy, the terrorist proxies. So crazy stuff that this is spreading. Now, we got Chuck Grassley investigating Uranium One, and I have a feeling like this is going to become much more mainstream here soon, which is excellent. Now, here's another massive win going on for the Iranian war, and this tells you guys that prices are about to go down here. Okay, we are producing so much natural gas, and Europe has screwed itself so much that U.S. national gas is now 60% of their they're importing 60% of their imported natural gas from us. That's a lot of prosperity that's going to be coming back to us, and it also tells you that as this natural gas just keeps expanding, and we more and more. I mean, that's going to start impacting energy prices. And a lot of other things. So prices will go down with this. We just have so much supply. It's just about getting it out. Now, today, Zero Hedge shared this story as if it was like some monster crazy thing. And I had to laugh, actually, when I read this. So they posted the Iran war cost $25 billion in 2 months. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, right? And to the normal person, it's a lot of money. But at the beginning of it, we were being told that they were spending up to $1.5 billion a day. Now, that was when the initial onslaught happened. But now that's obviously gone way down. And so in 2 months, basically almost 60 days, $25 billion. So that cost went way down. And here's why I laughed. The Pentagon's budget is nearly $1 trillion. $1 trillion. That's what, 1,000 billions? So what's 25 billion out of 1,000 billion? It's not that much. I don't know if you know that. If you've ever had $1,000 and you decide to get lunch and paid $25, did you really feel like you lost your budget that much? This is why we have this budget, folks. This is why. And then on top of that, you think of how this war has shifted things for the American economy. So we now are net exporting more than we've ever exported before in oil and natural gas, and everybody's coming to us now. All right. So everybody coming to us, that money, especially at elevated oil prices, guys, we've probably already made this back plus some. I have a feeling if this is how it continues, the way Trump's waging war and we continue to grow in our exports, Iran war might actually make us money. That's so just a little perspective on that when you hear about these prices we're paying on this war. Because if this is their big story, and Zero Hedge is run by libertarians, so they hate the federal deficit much more than makes logical sense too. But being libertarians, they thought this was like a big own kind of oh my God, we're going to expose what's going on at the Pentagon. No, this is nothing. Just saying. That's nothing. So, Elon could sleep that off. But natural gas again, it's so abundant that in West Texas prices are plummeted below zero. So we have negative. They're just trying to get rid of it. They've tapped into so much that now they just got to get rid of it. Below zero prices. Remember that happened with oil during COVID because nobody was driving anymore. Everybody's locked down. So that's what we're starting to see here, which means prices on natural gas are about to tank.